Good afternoon, everyone. In earlier classes, we have studied regarding the nature and significance of management, meaning, definition, then concept, as well as characteristics of management. Now, here we are going to deal with the objectives of management. Objectives of management is why management discipline is taken in an organization and what is the goal or objectives of management in an organization. Management, as we all know, is a management is an important discipline which helps the organization in accomplishing its goal. For example, it has set up the goal of achieving 5,000 units of production per year. Means management helps in accomplishing that goal by undertaking different activity, by providing guidelines to its members and coordinating their different activities and giving them direction towards working towards a common goal. So management is an important discipline which makes the plans into reality. So we'll see the different objectives of management. First one is organizational objectives. Organizational objectives are the objectives which the organization has. So first one is survival. Survival is an important factor for each and every organization. If it is unable to survive in a competition, or if it is unable to survive in an environment, means there is no possibility of getting profit or there could not be any growth. So survival is a major aspect for an organization. So survival of the organization always depends on external factors. There are social, economic, political factors which keeps on changing, and even the organization should change itself according to the changes in environment. For example, presently the government has introduced GST, because of which all the organization has changed their tax regime. They have introduced the software of GST. They provided training to their employees regarding the usage of GST and the software. Earlier, most of the companies were following the Tally software, but after the change in rules, they have introduced GST and they have provided the training to their employees. So this is a way of surviving in an environment. If the changes are taking place in an environment, means they have to adapt themselves. They cannot complain that the installation of new software is costly, teaching requires more time, so they cannot complain. If they want to survive in an environment, means they need to adapt these changes. So this is called as survival. So this management helps in surviving. If the changes happens, this management keeps track of external activities. Suppose any changes happening, if the laws are changing, it will try to inculcate or use that particular changes inside the organization. Maybe conducting training to their staff, maybe giving information regarding this, or conducting seminar. Through different ways they'll provide training. So this is the way in which organization survives with the help of management. Then next is about growth. Growth is also an important objective of management. If once for a particular year they have a target of achieving 5,000 units of production, means next coming year they need to increase their production. They cannot reduce their production. They need to see what is the demand, how the demand is there for their product in the market. So in this manner they need to try to improve. There should be a continuous progress. An organization cannot remain static. For its growth, management helps. How a management can help an organization in its growth? So finding out the different opportunity where the organization can invest in, finding out different areas through which it can get more and more benefit. So these are the things are studied and observed by the management. There are different teams like production department, finance department. All these departments undertake their research activities. For example, marketing manager undertakes marketing research where study regarding demand for their product, whereas the finance department risk analyst try to figure out which project involves what kind of risk, what is the intensity of risk. So these are the functions which will be performed by the management and the team of experts So because of which they can get the growth. Then next is regarding the profitability. We all know profit is the major motive for which our organizations are set up. Without the profit, organization cannot make a payment to its employees, nor they can produce product. So without profit, no organization can stand. So this organizational objective includes profitability. Profitability they can achieve by satisfying their stakeholders, maybe shareholders, customers, environment, government. So they need to be satisfied. Then only organization can make profit. Whenever they produce a product in a market means customers need to be satisfied with that particular product. If they are not satisfied means if they bring about other line of product means they are not going to buy such products. So satisfaction is important, and that constitutes survival. Then next is regarding social objectives. Organization works in an environment means there are different social factors which affects the working of the business. For example, customer, environment, government, shareholder, supplier, all these are the factors. So it has a huge responsibility towards these people. When it comes to customer means they need to undertake fair trade practices. They should not indulge in any of the malpractices like black marketing, hoarding, etc. Then they need to fix fair prices for the product, and they need to provide good quality of product at the right quantity. Then when it comes to responsibility towards environment means they should not pollute the environment. They should not overutilize the resources of the environment. They should not send their wastages to the environment. They should provide eco-friendly product. And then the responsibility towards government means proper payment of taxes, proper disclosure of their profit details. Then next, responsibility towards shareholder means they need to provide proper dividend, and they need to show proper details of their books of account. All these are the responsibilities, and management helps in achieving these social objectives. Then individual objectives. There are different number of employees with their personal agendas. They join the organization. The motive behind joining the organization is first to satisfy themselves. They have their different motives. For accomplishing those motives or goals, they enter into an organization. There they work for the betterment of the organization. When they are contributing so much or they are contributing so much to the organization means even the organization has the responsibility towards them. Maybe satisfying their financial needs or non-financial needs. Financial needs means providing proper wages and providing competitive wages. Then non-financial means providing support, providing motivation, then promotion. All these are the non-financial supports. Then they need a social needs like peer recognition. They need a recognition in the society. They need to get identified as a someone in the society, like they need to have their own name. Then next, they even need to have a greater level of satisfaction, that is through their personal development. That can be achieved by providing proper training, etc. So these are the objectives of the management, and these are the reason why organization gives more priority to the discipline called as management. So next we will study regarding the importance of management. So why management is needed in an organization? First one is achieving group goal. As in an organization, there are different departments are having different activities, and they are indulged in their different activities. All these people need to be coordinated. Their efforts, their activities need to be synchronized so that they can accomplish the one common goal of the organization. So this can be achieved with the help of management. Management undertakes controlling of these different department, employees of this department. They distribute the authority, they distribute the activities. So in this manner, management helps in achieving group goal. If there is no management means there will not be proper control over its subordinates. So management establish proper control over them. They see whether the works are accomplished, whether the tasks are performed as per the plan or not. In this manner, they can achieve the group goal. Then increases efficiency. Its major motto is to reduce the cost as much as possible. If the cost cutting is not done, so organization cannot achieve profit. So efficiency can be improved or increased through different activities, that may be planning, organizing, coordinating, staffing, directing. With these activities, they'll try different ways in which they can reduce the cost and they can make optimum utilization of given resources. The next is about development of the society. This management concept helps in development of the society by providing more and more job opportunity. It aims at creating job opportunity. It helps the society by providing those goods or raw materials or those final products which helps in the society, which helps in development of the society. For example, the industries which are indulging in construction of important facilities, those company help in development of the society, maybe construction of roads, then other IT industries which aims at development. The next is regarding achieving of personal goal. With the help of management, it is possible for an individual to attain his personal goal, that may be obtaining proper wages, maybe peer recognition, all these. Then next is about dynamic organization. Management concept help the organization to be dynamic, as there are so many factors which are affecting the organization, like social, economic, political. All these factors keeps on changing. This change in factors need to be studied properly, which can be done by the management. There are different experts who study regarding the change in trend. They conduct survey of the market regarding customer desires, satisfactions, etc. Through this, an organization becomes dynamic in nature, which keeps on changing as per the change in external trends. So these are all the importance of management, which tells why management is necessary for an organization. Next we are going to study regarding the nature of management. As we all know, management is an ancient discipline. It is not a new discipline. It is as old as the civilization. Maybe the today's organization forms are modern, but management concept is not at all modern. It is an old concept. Because of the development in trade and commerce, this particular concept was given the importance. As we all know, management is not just needed for an organization, management even needed in a household. For example, we can say that our mother is the greatest manager who can manage all the works of a house. So we can say that management is not a new concept. Then there is a debate among people whether management is a science or art or a profession. So here are the different points which tells management is both science, art as well as profession. So first we will study regarding why management is a science. What is science? Science is a systematized body, which is a body of knowledge that explains certain general truths or the operation of general laws. That means it is a systematic body of knowledge which consists universal truth. For example, there is a law of gravity which tells that apple falling from the tree comes down to the ground. Why? Because there is a force of gravity, and there are so many theories, so many experiments which proves that there is a law of gravity. So we can say that science is nothing but it's a systematic body of knowledge consisting of universal truth. So what are all the characteristics of science? First one is systemized body of knowledge. It is a systemized body of knowledge because there are so many principles, so many theories that they have developed which says that there are certain laws are true. Then next is regarding principle based on experimentation. We all know that for each and every theories there are certain experiments which they have conducted. The next is regarding universal validity. Scientific principles are universal in nature. It is not like particular principle is only applicable in India. No, it is applicable all over the world, and it is accepted by all. So it has universal validity. So let us see how a management is a science in nature. Management has a systemized body of knowledge. We know that even sometimes the experienced manager need to study different cases so that they can handle certain situation which is occurred in an organization. So we cannot say that manager has a complete knowledge of each and every factor. Sometimes he needs advice from his subordinate also. Then next is regarding the principles of management have evolved over a period of time and based on repeated experimentation and observation. So we can even say that there are certain experiments also to prove that management is a science. Then it even has a universal validity. The works which are performed by the manager in India is similar to the works which are performed by the manager abroad. Maybe in UK, USA, Canada, the works remains the same. They need to manage, they need to coordinate the different activities performed by the different employees. So we can say that management is a science. Then management as an art. We know that what is art? Art is a skillful and personal application of existing knowledge. We know that art is, for example, dancing, then poetry writing, short story writing. All these are the arts where there is a personal application of knowledge. It is a skill. So there are certain characteristics of art, that is existence of theoretical knowledge. Even the art has a theoretical knowledge. Sometimes to get certified that you are the professional dancer, professional singer, so you need a certification. For that people go for studying certain courses. Maybe people have certified knowledge in dance, that is classical dance, example Kathak, etc. So there are different courses which are offered by Indian government on movie, that is theatre artist, etc. Then next, personalized application. You have seen the ads of Amul, which makes different doodles on different occasions. So we can say that art is a personalized application. Some of the information they gather and they show that through the cartoons. So there is a personal interpretation of news. You can go through the different Google doodles. You can search in Google. You will find it. So from this we can say that art is a personalized application where one person uses his own skill to interpret the information. Some cartoons are prepared not by copying someone else. It is prepared by that artist itself because he uses his creative skill. Then next, based on practice and creativity. Management is based on creativity. Even the art is based on creativity. It needs those people who are called as artists, they have a different creative knowledge. Because of that creative knowledge, they differ from one person to another. So we cannot say all the artists are same. Then next is, so how can we say that management is art? Successful manager also need to study the certain theoretical aspects of management, because we cannot say that manager has a complete knowledge of each and every aspect. Then next, there is also a need of personalized applications. Sometimes while solving the conflicts between the employees in an organization, he need to use his own experience. Based on that experience, he need to solve the problem among the employees. So there is a need of personalized application. Then even the manager needs to have a creativity. Sometimes if the marketing team is not working properly and the sales are not up to the mark, they need to undertake certain creative way of promoting their product. So creativity is also an important factor. Through this we can say that management is also an art. Then management as a profession. We know that to call it as a profession means people need to have a certain qualification for it. So let us see what and all the characteristics of profession. well-defined body of knowledge. A professional need to have a proper knowledge over the subject. Then restricted entry, we know that there is a requirement of particular qualification. For example, if you are a doctor, means you need to have a medical degree, then only you can be called as a doctor. Then next, professional association. There are different association of these professionals to protect and safeguard their rights, as well as to provide a proper code of conduct. For example, associations of lawyer, associations of doctor, etc. Then ethical code of conduct. They have certain ethics which they need to follow. For example, doctors, they need to take oath at the time of getting their degrees. Then service motive. Most of the profession is based on service. For example, lawyer, services of the lawyer, etc. So how we can say that management is a profession? Not all the characteristics matches with this, because in profession there is a restricted entry, they say, but in case of being in case to become a manager, there is no need of particular qualification, because even the person who did not attend the school, that particular person can even own the company. So there is no need of proper qualification to become a manager. Then next, professional association. There are so many professional association of different owners of different company. For example, the electronic, those people who deal with the electronic items, they have their own association. Then next is regarding ethical code of conduct. All India Management Association establishes the code of conduct to their members regarding how they should perform their operation. Then service motive. Not all the organization has service motive. Only service oriented industries, maybe hospitals, educational institutions, they have service motive. Other than that, organization or company does not have service motive. They have only profit motive. So by this we can say that management is both science as well as art as well as profession. So next we are going to study regarding the levels of management. So in an organization there are different levels. When the size of organization increases, the complexity also increases, as well as the operation also increases. So it becomes very difficult for a manager to manage his company. But here in a management there are different tiers, or we can say as a hierarchies. In top level there are different groups, in middle level also there are different employees, in lower level also there is employees. So here there is a supervisor as well as subordinate relationship, there is a division of activities, there is a division of responsibilities. In this manner an organization and management performs its operation. So the topmost level involves framing plans and policies, middle level involves interpretation of plans, as well as lower level involves execution and implementation of plans. So we'll study in detail regarding the levels of management. We can take the example of SCL company, where CEO is Shiv Nadar, and take another example, Suhasini, who is a manager of FabMart. These are the people who are in different levels. They undertake their own activities and work together in accomplishing one organizational goal. So top management, this top management consists of CEOs, chairpersons, shareholders or board of directors. Then they even consist of managers of different departments. So this particular level constitutes CEOs, managers, board of directors, chairperson, etc. They are responsible for framing policies, they are responsible for setting goals, they are responsible for directing and communicating their subordinates regarding how operation need to be performed. So being a manager is not an easy task. It is a stressful job, because they need to manage all other people and they need to communicate the information properly to all their subordinates, and they need to handle all the affairs of these subordinates, and they need a huge dedication in their work. Their dedication is very important. These top level managers, they frame the policies, they communicate their policies, they set up the strategies, what and all they need to follow, how they need to perform their operation. These are the activities done by the top level. Then comes a middle level. These particular people undertake the operation of interpreting those plans. For example, consider production manager who undertakes the work of producing. So the main work of the production manager is to see whether there is any need of employees. So at the time of undertaking production, suppose they have set up the plans, this particular branch or level has set up the plan of producing 5,000 units per year, means here the production manager has to see whether that goal can be achievable or not, and he should work towards achieving that particular goal. So the work of the production manager is to see whether there are enough personals to work. If there is any need of more manpower, they need to even give the responsibility to different subordinates. They need to divide work among their subordinates. They need to motivate them towards accomplishing the goal. All these are the work they need to do. And not only that, then there should be a cooperation. They need to see whether there is a cooperation among different departments. Here there is not only a production department, there comes marketing department, then sales department, finance department. All these departments perform their own work. Marketing department undertake the work of research, then they even make the plan of promoting their product. Sales department try to sell the product which the production department has manufactured. So activities differ, but they need to cooperate with one another. If there is no cooperation among the production department, purchase department, sales department, then we cannot see the goals becoming into reality. Why? Because if the production department plans to produce particular unit of product, means purchase department need to get the proper information from this particular department. They need to purchase a required quantity of raw material, and they even need to buy the proper quality product. If the raw materials are of inferior quality, production quality even decreases, and the sales department cannot market their product. So hence here the cooperation among the department is very important. So this work is performed by the middle level management, though they are the different managers of different departments. Cooperation and coordination among them is very important. Then last comes lower level management. Here they constitute of employees, supervisors who look after the work. So this particular department is there, no? They are the intermediaries. They take the information from the top authority, then communicate it to the lower level authority. And here they even take the information from them and then communicate to the top management. So there should be a proper flow of information. And this particular level directly communicates with their employees. So because of which they'll come to know regarding the actual problem among their employees. Here the supervisor need to direct them towards their work. They should see whether the production work is going on properly or not, whether the raw materials are enough or not, machineries working are proper or not. They even need to see whether there is any problem. They need to see the safety measures, and they need to see whether the work is going on as per the plan. So in this manner, an organization or the management performs its operation. There are n number of employees in all these hierarchy. So making them to work towards one particular goal and handling these people is not an easy task. So management as well as the manager needs experience to handle these people. So this is regarding the levels of management. Regarding other topic, we will study in the next class. If you have any doubt regarding any topic, you can clarify. Thank you.